What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It has been a very, very long time since I've done a stream on this channel, and to that I want to apologize first. It's been a very long grind to get back here. A lot's happened in my life the last few months. I'm going to quickly find a way to disable the Oh, I love that. It's cool. It's got a broadcast mode. Anyway, there's lots been going on in my life. It's been a busy. How long has it been now? I think 5 months since I streamed or did anything with this channel. So yeah, I do want to say I appreciate the patience, you guys. I know it's been a long while. 4 months. It's been 4 months since I posted a video here, and 4 months since I did a live stream here. First off, I need to first say this stream will not be in VR. I know I accidentally left the VR in the title. I'm logging in on my phone now to see if I can change that, because I'm definitely not using VR on this right now. It does not appear I can edit it while I'm live, so I'm gonna have to do that in post. Whatever. And that is a part of the my VR headset perished in an accident at the house, and it is a mistake that I'm sure everyone has made at least once with any piece of technology they've owned over their lifetime. I spilled a drink on it. Now, at my house that I moved into back in August, which again was part of the reason I haven't done anything on this channel in so long, I have a full sim rig, triple monitor setup, the whole nine. It's amazing. I love it. But I don't really have an easy place to store my controllers, my headset, my VR headset, and so I was kind of just putting my VR headset in the floor because there's not really anywhere to hang up both my standard gaming headset, like what I'm using for this, and my VR headset. And so the VR headset was going in the floor because it's too big to fit on this little like extrusion piece of aluminum or whatever this is made out of, that I put everything else on. One day, my now wife, again, part of the reason I haven't streamed in a while, brought me a drink, and I accidentally tipped the cup over and spilt it directly on the VR headset. And no amount of saving was actually going to keep it functioning, and unfortunately, my VR headset has perished. So, these Gran Turismo streams are going to go back to how they were before I had the VR headset, which sucks. I already miss it. But I was probably faster without it, so my racecraft might improve slightly because of it. But yeah, so a lot's been going on. Like I said, you've probably already got an idea for what's going on. I moved back in August and had to completely up in my life. I lived with my parents forever, and I moved out on my own for the first time, and that was a very stressful adventure for that like 2-month period where I was completely by myself here. And then in October, I got married. Now, if you follow my Instagram, my actual Instagram, you probably have seen some wedding pictures by now. I posted a handful of them on my page there on Instagram. So yeah, I got married, went on my honeymoon, all that good stuff. I've been trying to adapt to life as a married man and all that stuff. I've had friends get married. Kaysen, a lot of you guys know Kaysen who've watched this channel, who've watched my main channel. He's collaborated with me on a lot of stuff, whether it was my main automotive channel or this one. He also got married a few months ago, back in September. So, it's been a really busy time between all the bachelor trips, moving, you know, both of our weddings, you know, both of us getting married to our wives, you know, being in each other's weddings, my honeymoon, I didn't go on his, obviously, and most recently I've gotten sick. You guys can probably tell I'm not 100%. I probably shouldn't be doing this at all, honestly, but I'm making things work. I am pretty sick. I'm pretty sure it's either strep or a sinus infection. I'm kind of like in between which one it was. My throat was hurting quite badly yesterday, and so a lot of people that I've talked to about it are pretty sure it's strep. So I don't know. I've got antibiotics for it. We're good to go on that. I'll be okay in a few days, probably, I hope. But anyway, let's get to playing some GT7. I've knocked the rust off a little bit because it's not just the streaming I've not been doing. It's playing GT at all. If I go back here, you guys can see my daily workout chart. I've only really gotten back into it this month. which is also taking a bit of a nosedive from what I intended because I've been sick. I mean, you guys can see September, I played barely at all. August, I played barely at all. Like, I mean, I've been barely playing this game because I've been, in the midst of everything I've been up to. So, um, yeah. One thing that's new, my favorite 700 pp car for the Le Mans 700 pp race to grind with rolled over 2,000 miles. And you're probably wondering why this car of all things. I own one in real life. That's quite literally it. If you follow this channel long enough, you know I own one of these in real life, and I love that car. So we're gonna do an oil change on it to start tonight. I'm willing to answer any questions from while I've been away, and I'm hoping to be able to talk about future stuff in the future. Yeah, future stuff for the future of the channel. There we go. My brain still hasn't quite recovered from being sick, I guess. So yeah, I'm hoping to start bringing content back here. It's been so long, and I enjoy it. I enjoy doing content with this stuff. I'm hoping, excuse me, I'm hoping sooner or later I'll be able to do videos on my triple monitor setup and show you guys, that setup versus the VR, since my VR is unfortunately deceased. All right, I've been kind of poking around in here. I'm also gonna talk about the future GT7 because there's been a lot going on with this game over the last couple months. They announced the Spec 3 update, which I haven't covered. They announced the Power Pack coming out in December. Looking to see if there's anything I can afford that I don't already have. I'm pretty sure I've had one of these Christian Dior De Tomaso Mangustas. It wasn't one of my favorite cars. Pretty sure I sold it like right after. I can get this from doing the master license. I'm not really stressed about getting the Ford Roadster right now. Excuse me. I probably shouldn't be doing this how sick I am, but it's been too long, and I've got the house to myself. My wife's out at a school event, so I'm not here. Or I'm not there with her, so I'm doing my own thing here at home. Nothing new for me to buy in here. See, I'm gonna check something real fast. I don't know, is the chat... I don't know when it's typed in the chat, but text to speech on, because that'll make things a little easier for me right now. We got an invitation to Lamborghini here. Don't really care all that much. I know it's for the Veneno, and it's an okay car. I don't remember my experience with it very much because I don't have one anymore. I got rid of it, so I don't remember my experience too much with it. But if I remember correctly, it wasn't one of my favorite. It was kind of a mediocre car to me. What I do miss, and I don't know if I still have one. I'm pretty sure I don't. Is the Carrera GT. Back before I knew about all the grind races and stuff, I had one, and I miss it dearly. Do I still have it? Please tell me I still have that car, because that thing was awesome. And I don't think I ever got to experience it in VR when my VR headset was functioning. Does not appear that I have it, which kind of blows, but... shoot. Well, let's go poke around. Probably going to wind up building a car of some sort here. Let's see what our weekly challenge is this week. I haven't checked it at all. I said I've been away for a while, so... not really a lot of events I'm too keen on. Oh man, if I remember correctly, this race was a pain in the balls the first time I played it. Yeah, I hated that one. I'm not doing that again. I hated that race in so many freaking levels. Trying to find something that I know I can do. Let's see, event directory. Is there a World Touring Car 600? Like something like super chill, super small. There is a World Touring Car 600. We're gonna build kind of our own setup for this car. One of which is actually at Road Atlanta, so that actually works out really good because that's a track that you guys already know I'm a master at. Like I've mastered that track. Let's see what we've got that is regulation compliant. Just off rip, my sleeper GTI. I've got so many Mark 7 GTIs in this game, but anyone who knows me already figures that out. I'm probably going to build something new for this. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to build something kind of fresh, something cool for this race. Just, why not, you know? Let's see. What do I have? Got a car in mind already, but I want to see if I've already got one that's stock, so I don't have to go buy another one. does not appear that I have what I'm looking for, which is a TTS that is stock, a Mark III TTS. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna build a like super light setup car that's gonna be 600 performance points, and it'll be in TTS. That's what I'm leaning towards here. Just because that MQB platform is something I'm super familiar with, and I really like these cars. So I haven't played around with them all a whole lot. We're gonna go with Sepang Blue for this car. Don't know if I'm gonna keep this color just yet. Because I want to check and see if my favorite Audi color of all time is in this game. If not, no biggie. I doubt it because the cars that would run this color aren't in the game at all. That color being Nagaro Blue. So my focus with this is going to be, like I said, getting it to about 600 performance points, and it's already really close to that as it sits. So I don't know how much headroom I'm really going to have to get it there. We're gonna go throw some suspension on it. Okay, so we're not gaining a whole lot right now. We're gonna throw slotted rotors. If I throw racing softs on it, it immediately jumps past 600 performance points. My only tire options on that will be the racing hards. So we're gonna go with sports softs. I don't think there's a tire restriction on this race, so if I can avoid that, I will. I want to try to get a tiny bit more power out of this car, so we're going to go with the ECU setup at least. Did I do the full customizable suspension? I did. We're going to do the sports muffler, which will actually push us over by a good bit, actually. So maybe not. Shoot, we're already at our limit. That's crazy to me. Let's see. Weight reduction's not going to do jack. Oh, that's going to shoot us way over. Man, this sucks already. I mean, we've really not been able to do a whole lot to this car to get it, you know, ready for this. Man, that kind of blows. Okay, I'm trying to think here. The intercooler, we can do the intercooler. Okay, so I'm just trying to maximize what we can do to this TTS. I think that's probably going to be about it, because I feel like if we do the bore up, it's going to shoot us over. I can do the carbon drive shafts, so that'll give us some extra help here. But bumping this up to an almost 2.2 liter engine is going to shoot us over. That's going to shoot us over. We're at the limit of what we can do with this car for 600 performance points. So let's see. I'm just going to look for fun. I'm going to highly doubt Nagaro's in this game, and it isn't. Sepang, which is what this car is in here. This Macaw Blue is pretty similar to Nagaro, so I'm probably going to go ahead and buy this color. And we are going to do some tinkering. I don't know if that will shoot us over performance point-wise. It gets us a little bit closer. Let's see. So we could throw a wing on it. How bad does that shoot us over? It actually doesn't. We actually lost a performance point doing that. Let's throw the high wing on it. Still same thing. Okay. The low wing is very TTRS. I actually kind of like that, but I think I'm going to go with the medium wing. Just for, you know, appearance sake. And I'm going to go with these end plates. So nothing crazy, just, you know, a little bit of style. This is going to have a full race car look. I'm not going to just build a basic looking TT. I'm a big fan of yellow headlights on GT cars, so we're going to do that. I'm going to take the front plate off the car. We're just going to put American style plate on the back. And we need to put some wheels on it. I'm a big BBS guy, so we're going to throw some BBS wheels on it. Haven't decided which one. I've been a big fan of these REV7s. I've actually been trying to find a set for my GTI. We're going to bump it down to 18 just because I like that look better with these. And that puts us as 598.99. So we're right on that limit of 600 performance points. We're going to try to do like a very basic livery. I am going to add some number cards and put, you know, my signature number. The lore behind that, I played football. Some of you may know, some of you may not. Probably don't care. But that was my number when I played football. So I'm just gonna do some very basic, stuff here. A lot of saved decals on this thing. Um, what am I thinking here? Honestly, I mean, the idea is super basic and simple livery design. Like, I don't think I need a whole lot of stickers on this car. I think we'll do a small IMSA sticker kind of like right here. That'll fit pretty well. And then we'll duplicate it. No, don't want to duplicate it symmetrically. We'll horizontally flip it. Alright, windows. We're just going to do... Where's see? I'm pretty sure I saved an APR one pretty early on after this game came out. Big APR guy when it comes to my VW stuff. Ironically, mine's not tuned by APR, but... let's see here. I thought I had APR saved on here. I have Cobb, which my car does. My actual GTI does run Cobb stuff. Thought I had APR. Do I not? Or did that decal somehow magically? There it is. I knew it was around here somewhere. Let's see. We're gonna take this APR sticker. We're gonna go pretty small and put it right here. Duplicate it on the other side. We're gonna add another one. Let's see, what was that? What am I thinking here, guys? SCCA would be kind of cool. I've been doing some research on SCCA events. A lot of the pro racing decals, that's what I'm looking for right here. Shoot, where's the thing at? Why can't I see it? I guess maybe that window is the only, let's see if I can do this. I can replace it with the SCCA logo. Or it just doesn't work at all. Okay, so let's see if I go to the rear window maybe, if I can throw the SCCA one on. Okay, I just flat out can't see it at all. I don't know why that's the case. Let's try on the body. Okay, this decal just flat out doesn't work. Interesting. Let's try a different one. So the other SCCA style ones work, which is intriguing. Kind of blows, honestly. I was kind of looking forward to using their actual logo. There we go. This one works fine. I could position this a little better. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna... First things first, I'm gonna remove this one from my save ones. And I'm going to save the other one in here. Alright, back to here. I'm going to add a very quick... Are these running the Dunlop tires already on here? Okay, we're good. Let's see if Yokohama's poking around in this stuff. They are. I mean, I'd prefer without the white box around it, but this will do. There we go. Alright, back to the rear window. We are going to go ahead and throw that SCCA sticker on the back window of the car. And then on the body, I'm going to go to the rear. We're going to add like the little arrow for the tow hook. Just because I think it's interesting. So apparently they don't have the flip thing. There, come on, work with me. There we go. We're going to do the same up front. Just for that full look, you know, its whole purpose is to still look very similar to a actual race car for you know, a 600 pp event. So we're gonna go back to the side here. Trying to think what a main, or quote unquote main sponsor could be for this car. If we're gonna keep it blue. Trying to think of like what a good direct sponsor for this car would be. Like actually struggling to find something that I think would work. Let's see here. I don't run Fortunato in my car. Bilstein! It's a blue car. Bilstein works perfect. Heck yeah. I didn't even think about that. And I run Bilsteins on my actual car, so that's awesome. There we go. Perfect. You know, I just realized too, having IMSA and SCCA on the same car is kind of a clash. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to replace it with, I'm going to try to see if I can find an actual WTC 600 decal. Let's see if anyone's done it. This kind of works. Yeah, perfect. All right. And I think I have an Audi customer racing decal lying around somewhere in this group. I've got so many decals saved. It's Audi Sport. That might honestly do the trick. We'll just do that. Alright, so on the hood we're going to do a Bilstein. Just your very basic setup. Then on the back, we're going to do that same WTC 600 logo. What I need to do under it is I need to actually put a background under it. Not the exact same shade of blue, but it'll do the trick while I get this thing painted up how I want it to look. Alright. And there we go. So I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to see if I can get that blue a little closer to the actual color of the car. That's pretty close. It'll stick out like a sore thumb still, but... Alright, and just for some effect, to finish this car off before we go take it racing, because I've already been live for 23 minutes and we haven't actually done anything with the car, is I'm going to look for bumper cuts. And then we're actually going to go drive this thing. Trying to find like bumper vents kind of thing. Ah. Perfect. Looks pretty good, I'd say. That's obviously a sticker, but we're just going to run the WTC 600 sticker on it. Alright, perfect. I think the car is pretty well set. So we're going to apply the livery. And we're gonna get racing after I change the caliper color to blue just for cool effect. All right. So I guess now that we're actually doing something, excuse me. Spec 3. Let's talk about it. So they're adding some tracks to the game. They're adding some new cars, obviously. We've seen a handful of these already. I have my opinions on you know, certain cars. Excuse me. You know, there's a lot to talk about with it. They're adding Yas Marina, and I can't remember the other track off the top of my head. What is it? Oh man, I have to Google this. This is embarrassing, but forgive me, I'm sick. I'm using that as my excuse. So, Gilles Villeneuve. I thought it was, but I couldn't remember for sure if that was the track they were adding. So, we're getting a handful of cars: the 296 GT, the 296 GT3, the Polestar 5, and the Renault Espace F1 have all been confirmed. There is a new F1 car that was shown in the trailer for it, which I believe is going to be using the F3500B name. It's a V10 car, so that's going to be really exciting. That's something I'm going to definitely spend a lot of time with, as a big fan of that era of F1. I'm going to lower this car. I'm trying to talk while also doing the setup on this car. So there's that. That's a pretty good setup. They're adding a bunch of new stuff to the game, and I'm actually kind of looking forward to that. The Power Pack DLC is also coming out in December, and I'm planning on, at least, like I said, with how life's been for me the last few months, planning on doing something with that. So we shall see on that front. You know, hopefully I can do some level of content with it. So, yeah, the idea is to do some content related to those two events, those two add-ons. Power Pack's got a lot of cool stuff coming in it. We've got endurance events are coming back. We've got, you know, a whole new campaign almost of events. I still don't think it's the Band-Aid fix what this game needs. I think this game needs a lot more under the hood. I'm hoping that, I believe Spec 3 is coming out with some multiplayer updates, and I'm hoping that comes to fruition as some really good updates. But, we may never know. We'll see in December when all that stuff launches. For now, though, we've still got Spec 2. We've still got some good stuff to do. You know, handful of really good cars that a lot of people have been requesting are coming to the game, so a lot to look forward to as well. Alright, let's hit Road Atlanta, 5 laps. First prize is 94,000 credits. I don't know if the Circuit Mastery stuff plays into this at all, because I do have this track all gold on Circuit Experience, all that kind of stuff. So let's get racing with my my 600 touring car TT. So we're running the stock turbo, which would in real life be the IS38 turbo. Stock DSG transmission. Quite literally, the only thing we really got on this car is suspension and tires and brakes and an intake. That's really about it. And obviously the aero that we've added on as well. So 5 laps to make up this ground. I was actually at this track recently and got to do a ride along back in, I want to say, early September. And in a C8 Corvette that was on some 200 treadwear tires, which for the uninitiated, there only no Gran Turismo logic, which no shade if you do. That's how I started as well. It would be about a sports soft tire, I would say. A little bit stickier than the Yokohamas I run on my personal car, which are also 200 treadwear. Really solid tires overall, though. And I would tell you, this game does not have the sense of speed that real life does. I mean, obviously, real life, it's real. But you know, even now, I was going this fast in the Corvette I was riding in, and this does not feel anything close. In VR, I started to get it. This, not so much. So we're 25 seconds off the leader. We got 4 laps to make the ground up. This AMG just really holding me back right here. I'm looking forward to Spec 3. I'm looking forward to the Power Pack. I will be getting the Power Pack DLC. Obviously, I think they're also giving, 2 or 5 million credits as an add-on bonus if you buy the Power Pack DLC. So, a lot of money to be had there. But at the end of the day, I'm mostly getting it for the content that's being added to the game. So far, little TT's doing pretty good. We're still 20 seconds off the leader, but we're making up ground pretty quick. try not to hit everybody. I'd like to get a clean race bonus. Alright, DB11 is going to be a bit of a challenge on the straights here. We're going to really have to hope that this little 2-liter can bring him in on the corners. A little bit of off-roading, but it's Quattro, so we're good. That's one of the reasons I chose this car. Already to the leader. They're already down to the S's. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this, honestly. I'm giving it my all, but this car, unfortunately, does not have a whole lot of top end, which is all Road Atlanta is. But it absolutely eats these corners, guys. Like, it is planted, it's, like, agile, like, it wants to rip. Alright, coming around the final corner here. I'm going to lift a little bit. It didn't lift enough, apparently. Disregard that. A little rally car action. Alright, we're into the top 5. Probably about to squeeze into 4th here. Pulled another 5 seconds on the leader. Oh gosh, come on, don't understeer. Don't Audi steer me, come on. TTS still struggles a little bit with Audi steer. A little bit of understeer. I can feel that extra stiff sway bar setting I did on this car. Pretty good in the corners and the braking zones especially. I'm getting a lot of rotation at the rear, which is what I wanted. These MQB cars, as someone who owns one and has done a little bit of autocross with them, rear sway bar does a lot of good for these cars. Still a good bit of understeer though on the throttle. So, I mean, I feel like a little bit of extra brake balance in the back to kind of swing the rear a little more and braking would be a pretty good upgrade for this car. Okay, this is the TQ250 transmission. It doesn't have a 7th gear. I've always said if something happened to my Mark 7, TTS, this generation TTS, is one of the first cars I'd consider. Although they're not bad for an IS-38 car, bone stock turbo setup, stock exhaust. See, I don't even need a lift as long as my line's good. All right, we're 10 seconds out. We got 2 laps to bring in 10 seconds. Oh, that was a really shoddy turn 1, wholly understeer and a half. That might have shot me in the foot a lot. You can tell I only drive like race cars. I think that's part of the problem I'm having with this car right now is I'm driving it like I would a Group 4 car. I'm really trying to push this car, and I'm still on, you know, effectively street tires. With limited aero. Alright, we got 1 lap to go. That mistake in turn 1 really cost me a lot of ground, so that may have cost me the win, honestly. But I'm going to do my best here to reel this in. This RX-7, I'm pulling on the RX-7, surprisingly. I figured I wouldn't be. They're really slow through the S's, though. And look at that, we're gaining multiple tenths. Well, we gained multiple tenths just by not forking the S's. Alright, we're under 9 seconds out from the leaders. I'm going to highly doubt we catch them. But I'm going to do my absolute best. Come on. Come on, get out of the grass. The understeer is still a bit of a plague in the corners with this, but I'm going to blame that more on the tire compound than I am the car. While these Audis are inherently understeery, I think in this specific case, it's one that's a transverse 4-cylinder Audi, and 2 that's on sport softs. So yeah, I'm willing to bet money had I not absolutely borked it on lap 4. Probably would have won this race. In fact, I'm going to retry this. Because 5 laps, I mean, it's a 7-minute race. I might have been able to reel him in if I hadn't messed up on lap 4. But yeah, we were under 7 seconds from them. I was gaining several seconds a lap. Alright, well that did help with the weekly challenge. I'm not happy with that result. And I'd still lost the clean race bonus. We did get a $100,000 ticket for that, so that's kind of cool. Alright, we're going to run that back. Alright, so now I know I got to be really consistent and really strong with this, or I'm not winning this race. I'm curious what cost me the clean race bonus. Because I don't think I made contact with any of the other cars. I don't know if my little adventure off of the grass on lap 4 did that. I don't know if I got a little bit too close for the end game thing to think. That probably cost me right there, honestly. A little nudge on the Subaru. Come on, out of the way. What's that, F-Type? I love those cars, but I need you to get out of the way of my TT. The interesting thing about the Mark III TTS in comparison to like a Golf R or an S3 or even a GTI like mine, they can't be tuned with a Cobb access point. You have to run, I believe it's EcuTech on this specific chassis of the MQB. Or it's a DS1, I think it's called. EQT tunes them, same company that tunes my GTI. Oh man, you got in my way last time. Alright, we've already pulled 6 seconds off the leader. They're getting a lap 1. Ooh! That was a little sketch. I'm seeing a little bit of crazy contact up here between the R8 and the 911. See if I can skate by both of them here pretty quick. Got past the R8. Let's see if I can get past the 911. The NSX has gone off. Look at that. We made several positions up and run on one sweep. And we are reeling in this DB11. The same car that I thought I wasn't going to get around terribly easy. And now I'm just making freaking, like, easy pass. Alright, we're making moves. I apologize for all the drainage and snotting and snorting and whatever. Like I said, I'm pretty sick. I've got either, for those who have just tuned in, I'm pretty sure I've got either a sinus infection or strep. Probably really shouldn't be doing this. Oh, I've overcooked it a little bit, but not bad enough. Come on. Got a Gallardo and a Viper in front of me. I can make moves here. See, while they slow down, I can kind of coast through. That was a little bit sketch. I did not know where that Viper was going to take his line. That easily could have been the end of the race for me right there. I really need to work on my lines into turn 1 because I've just made the same error that cost me the last race. In fact, it's even worse because I can't get the car out of the grass. Man, that sucks. So I want to take this W. And I made that same mistake last race. There's something about my line in a turn 1 that this car will either play really nice with or will absolutely resist. Haven't quite figured out what I'm doing wrong with that just yet, because it seems to be a little bit inconsistent. It may just be driver mod, honestly. Bit of a driver mod thing with this car. It's a setup I'm not entirely familiar with. Man, holy front end, like, wheel spin. I thought I stiffened up the suspension enough to not do that, but it is still a front biased all-wheel drive system. It's probably 99% of the reason it does that. Alright, we're 13 seconds out from the leader. Not quite as good going into lap 4 as I was the first attempt of this race. Probably too much limiter right there too. A little conservative coming out of 10B. So we head down the hill into turn 12. Because yes, that little right-hander we just did counted as a freaking turn. That was better. That's what I needed right there. Oh, that was really bad. Glad that runoff wasn't just straight in the gravel trap. That would have been a race ender for sure. Because I still have a bit of a shot in the dark right here. Despite my little screw up on lap 4 last race and lap 3 this race, I'm still within a shout of this. I could technically still take this race home. It's just I am going to be fighting for my life these last lap and a half. Less than lap and a half, honestly. Woo, the dive bomb, it goes crazy. Alright, out of 10B, we're going to drop below 7-second gap here. This is going to be a bit of a battle for me. Full throttle through turn 12. 129.9, that is a super fast lap for me in this car. Alright, take things real safe on turn 1. This appears to be where I gain a lot of ground on these guys. As you see, we're gaining tenths in these corners here, these twisty bits of this track. In fact, there they are, right in front of us. They cannot seem to take these corners like I can, which is crazy for me to believe. Come on, TTS. Let's hunt down some supercars. Come on, I'm within a shout of this. We're 2 seconds and some change out from them. They can't corner like I can, apparently, which I really find hard to believe. It's a Huracan and a 911. At least that appears to be a 911 from here. I could be totally wrong. They're going to absolutely shred me on the straight, though. We're losing tenths to these guys on the straightaway. But we are not entirely out of this yet because they are so slow through these corners. You guys saw how fast we pulled in the RX-7 going into 10A and 10B. But I think it may have been a little too much to ask. But I didn't give up, and that's all that matters. So we'll try a different World Touring Car 600 race that's at a more technical track. That way I have a decent shot of this. It's an RGC 4.2, yeah, that makes sense. But, hey, I'll take another third place on that, that's fine. I'll find another car that can easily crush that race. I guess that's what I get for trying to build a race car instead of just bringing a supercar. Alright, let's go back to that event directory and see what other World Touring Car 600 races there are. There's 8 of these. I'm trying to think of a track that will play ball with this car. The Rallycross layout definitely ain't going to work. Interlagos might be a good option. How many laps is 5 laps as well? Let me see here. I'm waiting to see. I'm checking my app to track my wife, see where she's at. So, I probably got another good 20 minutes or so. So let's go ahead and do this until I have to start cooking her dinner. So she has a meal to come home to tonight. Alright, so our grid. We've got a Huracan, a Supra, Onyx 5N, a Roof RGT 4.2, Gallardo, I wasn't done looking at that, GR Supra, GTR Nismo, Ariana AFD, the 911 GT. It's pretty much an identical grid to what we just raced at Road Atlanta. So, Interlagos on the track I've had a lot of success at, especially during the World Series and Exhibition Series earlier this year. So, this track is pretty technical. I suspect we'll have a much easier time here than we did at Road Atlanta in this car, but won't find out till we do it, so let's go. Excuse me. 5 laps at Interlagos. Let's get rolling. Here we go. One of my favorite tracks in the world. And a track that I spent a lot of time practicing. I think I drove several 100 miles of this track, preparing and racing in the World Series event earlier this year in that 911 RSR. It's part of the reason it's one of the highest mileage cars of all the cars I've, done all the miles out of myself. I think that, my 919 hybrid, and obviously that GTI from the beginning of this video that I showed off but didn't drive. Prove that Quattro is better than Subaru stuff. All is right with the world on that one. I'll be honest, I'm just playing. I love Subarus too, but more of an Audi guy for sure, as you can imagine. Alright, we're already reeling in cars that were a little bit harder to catch up with at Road Atlanta. The fact that I wasn't able to fire out of that more aggressive than the Aston is kind of surprising. This Mercedes is probably going to find a way to get right in my line of travel here. We're going to try a switchback maneuver. Oh, I'm actually kind of side by side with them already. Alright, we're coming up on the section where I think I'm going to start losing ground. The straightaway here is very long, so I've got to rely on this thing. So, we're off here. I did that so many times during the World Series stuff. Alright, come on. I know those NSX can drive way faster than that. What are you doing, bud? Alright, so this is going to be where I struggle. This straight, I'm going to lose a lot of ground here, which really I'm only losing a couple hundredths. Actually, I'm gaining ground now. I guess because they're in turn 1. Well, we're already in the top 10 at the end of lap 1. Let's see if we can make some more ground up. So much understeer. Alright, we got the 911 in front of us here. I'm going to get a little bit of a slipstream. Oh, I 38s, but didn't work. Oh, don't hit him. That was insanely close. I don't know how I didn't just hit his door. Alright, we got the GTR Nismo and the Ioniq 5N in front of me. Honestly, I don't like the Ioniq 5N. I like the concept of having an electric vehicle that does everything it can to pretend to be a gas car, but at that point, just buy a gas car. If you want the experience of a gas car, buy a gas car. And the fact that the first time Hyundai does this is in an SUV is absolutely absurd to me. I've seen them in person. They're fast in a straight line, whatever. But I will always take a gas car over that. I'm going to get an EV. I'm going to get an RS e-tron, a Taycan, or honestly, this is a bit of a hot take, F-150 Lightning. And that new Scout truck. I like the new Scout trucks, not gonna lie. So, with me trying to stage a comeback, I'm sure a lot of you are going to be asking about some of my older series and the retro GT titles that I was working on. What actually bring back Gran Turismo 3 as a live stream series as I was intending to do. It never actually did. And unfortunately, there has been a lot of controversy with a very certain mod game that I fell in love with. It made me really appreciate classic Gran Turismo. And I don't understand what happens. I just one day noticed that A-Spec was completely just disorganized and honestly was canceled briefly. And was ripped apart, and you know, there was a whole lot of stuff going on with A-Spec. And you know, there's a lot of controversy with it right now. I honestly hate to say this, I don't intend on finishing that game anymore. I'm gonna focus on what I know. I'm gonna focus on the games that I enjoy the most. GZ2, as good of a game it is, it's never been towards the top of my list. That's GT3 and GT4, GT6, GT5, stuff like that. That era of games is kind of what my heart loves the most when it comes to GT, and what I think I have the most passion for with these retro GT games. I may revisit it at some point once the game picks back up with its new development staff. If you're a part of the A-Spec Discord, you've seen everything. I don't exactly know what happens. I just saw the aftermath of it. That happened when I was on my honeymoon, I believe, is when whatever transpired. Around the RGT, we go there. So, I'm going to hopefully stage a comeback with some of the other series, though. Gran Turismo 3 in particular. I need to finish that game, the prize car only challenge. We're so close to the end of that game. A-Spec will not be returning, at least for now. I wasn't happy with, you know, GT2's physics engine as a whole the last time I played A-Spec on stream. And, you know, like I said, Gran Turismo 3, Gran Turismo 4, and Gran Turismo 5 were my favorite games in the whole series. So the plan is to focus on those. And I've already done a whole series on I've done 2 gameplay series of Gran Turismo 4 now. So the focus is going to be on Gran Turismo 3 and 5, which were 2 video series in Gran Turismo 3's case that I got quite a ways into, that I'm going to be converting back to a live stream. My main video content, once I can get that rolling again, once I'm not sick and can get some exponential amounts of free time in my personal life to film, is going to be focused on GT7. It's going to be focused on iRacing, you know, stuff like that. The modern sim racing games are going to be my video content, while the retro games are going to be stuff that I will be doing live streams on. And that's mostly because these are games that you guys seem to like me covering more anyway, the retro stuff. And I want you guys to be involved as it happens. It's a win-win. You get coverage of these games from me, and you get to be involved directly in what I do. Because honestly, commentating over gameplay footage like that, especially these longer sessions that I've gotten to with GT3 in particular, and the end game of GT4 when I was doing that German car only playthrough, I was going radio silent for half the videos towards the end of that. And I think doing those live, having you guys interact with me in the chat while I'm playing these games, and all of those kind of things will make playing these older games where, you know, I'm not using the wheel, I'm not, you know, don't have VR, all that kind of stuff. It'll make me enjoy them a lot more to have you guys involved with that process. And, you know, the GT3 stuff, and like, you know, that got pretty good traction for my retro series of racing game content. So yeah, we're gonna pick back up with that pretty soon. And obviously Forza 4, which is a whole thing in itself, because when I moved, I rebuilt my entire game room setup, and the 360 is no longer hooked up to this PC. So I'm going to eventually have to figure out a mobile streaming setup that I can hook up to it that'll make streaming from it pretty easy. But for now, expect Gran Turismo 3 to pick back up pretty soon. And that's going to be my next focus for the channel, is to be live streaming that again, continuing our prize car only run and stuff of that nature, and doing content with this, obviously, as Spec 3 rolls out here soon. The Power Pack update, of course, comes out next month. But with that, we take a win at Interlagos. I told y'all, a more technical track was going to do this car really good in this series. Because Road Atlanta, as good as I am at that track, that is my home track, this car just doesn't have the straight line speed to win at that track. So all in all, pretty good success here at Interlagos. 90,000 credits. Still no clean race bonus, and I'm not entirely sure where I lost it. Pretty good race though. TT's actually not that bad of a car. I think honestly the things that need to be updated with it on my suspension setup is just me focus on getting more rear end rotation, trying to remove some of that understeer, you know, the Audi steer. So yeah, I mean that's kind of my focus for that right now. But all in all, it's a good car. It's a good car. So, like I said, my plan for now is to slowly try to make a comeback. I've not been doing good about that at all. There's so much that has been going on in my life that has kept me from doing stuff here. So, for those of you that have been patient with me while I've been, you know, moving and getting married and going on my honeymoon and working my butt off, I appreciate it with my actual job, working my butt off with my day job. So, I appreciated all of you just, you know, sticking by and being patient while I've gone through all this stuff. And of course, now that I'm sick. But once I recover from my illness, which hopefully will be pretty soon, I'm going to start streaming GT3 again and eventually get back on the ball with you know, stuff with this game as well. I've done a lot of work on a lot of overlays for live streaming that I haven't gotten to use because I've been out of the game for so long. But yeah, so just to close out, I'm gonna go over just the future plans of the channel in more detail now that I'm not actively driving. So, like I said, live streams will continue pretty soon with the retro content. I think that's gonna be the focus of those streams. Is going to be that retro content. Gran Turismo 3 and Gran Turismo 5 are gonna be kind of my focuses on that. But expect some other stuff. I'm honestly thinking about branching out and doing some arcade racing games as well. I know this channel is developed entirely around sim racing games, but you know, I also have a lot of love for games like Midnight Club 3, Need for Speed Underground 2. I have Most Wanted, for crying out loud, which is a game I've never actually beaten because I hate the cops in that game. You know, stuff like that. There's lots and lots of different games I can branch out to with my retro game streams. But right now I want to focus on the games that I haven't actively finished yet. So GT3 and GT5 are going to be my main focuses on that. Forza 4, obviously, once I can figure out a mobile streaming setup and get all my stuff copied over for my overlays, that's where that's going to go. And A-Spec will be taking a hiatus indefinitely. Like I said, I don't know exactly what transpired, but I know there were some pretty intense accusations thrown at some of the development staff, and there was a lot of hoopla that wound up in the game being canceled briefly and then being revived, and now there's a whole new development staff. It's a whole thing. And so I'm going to distance myself from that project. I had a lot to do with, you know, helping get the game out there during its development phase, and I'm truly grateful for that opportunity that I had with A-Spec to be a part of that initial handful of, you know, YouTube content creators that got to play that game before it was publicly available. I think it was me, Matt J155, a handful of other Gran Turismo content creators that got to play A-Spec before its public release. And, you know, A-Spec is an incredible game, but just with all the controversy that's been going on behind the scenes with that game right now, I'm going to distance myself from it for a little bit until that dies down and, you know, the new development staff gets into full swing and starts putting out some updates to the game. So yeah, that's kind of my stance on that for now. So, like I said, that does mean A-Spec is going to not be on the channel for quite a while. But the actual Polyphony-based releases will be, so yeah. The retro streams will kick up, and then, like I said, once the Power Pack update releases next month, I'll be picking that up to do videos with as well. And probably even a stream on launch day, honestly, of both Spec 3 and the Power Pack update. So you guys can see my first impressions live. So yeah, if there's anything else you guys want me to cover in terms of sim racing videos, I'll do my best to cover those as we go on. Obviously, I'll still do these occasional chill streams with GT7 as well. So, man, these streams are really easy for me to put together. Just plug in my headset, turn on the broadcast mode on the PS5, and just go to town. So, yeah, I don't get my fancy overlays, but you know, I still get the basic setup of being able to chat with you guys, and I don't have to turn my PC on for it. So, but I'm gonna wrap things up. I have to go cook my wife dinner here in a minute, so I'm going to handle that which I hate because I just saw that a lot of people just joined in. But you know what? Let me just see where she's at. Double check where she's at before I do that. She is moving. Let's see, is she moving here, or is she still on the bus back to the school from her school event? For those who don't know, my wife's a teacher, so she has to do some after-school events. They're heading towards the school, so we're actually heading away from me right now. So I think I've got a little bit of time left to do, you know, one last event before we shut this down for the night. So I'm going to do that for you guys, just because it has been so long. Because, like I said, it has been a long while since the last time I did anything on this channel. So, yeah. Let's see what we got here. I want to do something neat. Let's see. What's a track I can go and drive right now? There's the American Clubman Cup 700. Do I even have anything that fits that? Oh, there's no limit on that? Yeah, okay. Let's go for it. We're taking out the Camaro. We're gonna go crazy here. Or no, why don't I drop the Vet? Yeah, we're gonna do that. Why does this not have a performance point limit? Alright, alright, alright. Holy voice crack. Someone's gonna clip that and use it to roast me. Bro, this might be the easiest race of our life. One last race since it's been so long. And one of the cars that I've spent very little time in because this thing scares me. I did an F1 transmission. Like, I actually found, like, gear ratios from an F1 game and copied it to this Corvette. What's my nitrous button at? I don't remember which one is my nitrous. That's my e-brake. Do I not have a nitrous button? Unless the camera changed. Holy snap. I'm trying to find my nitrous button since this car has it. That's it. There it is. It's on the wrong side. Oh, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Slow down. This car, honestly, is one of the most vicious cars I've ever built. And it scares me every time I drive it. Holy cow, this thing is so fast. Wow, okay. We got a C7 vet here, so. The fact we're rolling over 150 going into this corner is absurd. Hey, that car guy's in here. Hey, you caught me right at the end of this stream, man. Also, like I said, for those just now tuning in, I apologize. I am sick. I probably have strep. Probably shouldn't be streaming, but I really have been itching to come back to you guys. It has been way too long. And I remember why I loved streaming with this so much. Even if I only get like 5 active viewers at a time, it is still like just fun just to have people to chat with. I'm not just driving by myself. We're absolutely crushing this race too. Alright. A little bit of snap there in third. Ooh! Entering turn 1 sideways. That was crazy. I will say I feel a lot better using in the sim rig versus like my desk setup that I have at home.
Gran Turismo 2 Beige Edition. Just hearing about it and sounds interesting.
That does sound interesting, though. Like, to me, it's like I'm so back and forth if I'm gonna actually play that one, because it's beige edition. Like, it's you know, it's just a lot of like mundane cars, which I feel like it would be a foot and mouth moment if I actually really liked that game because of how much flack I've given GT7 for all the really just cruddy mundane cars they've added to this game. I feel like with this transmission, this car will be very interesting to drive on Yas Marina and Gilles Villeneuve when those get added to the Spec 3 update. I really hate my VR headset died. I totally meant to take that out of the title of this stream, but hopefully you guys can forgive me for that. Oh shoot.
They added the PT Cruiser. Must play.
Holy nostalgia for a GT3 with that. Oh my gosh. Oh, there it is. I knew I was going to... Oh. Almost saved it. Holy clutch slip.
Sliding and banging the rev limiter.
I know, this thing's absurd. Like I said, I got to ride in one of these at Road Atlanta back in September. Obviously not this absurdly set up, but... Oh, I overcooked it way bad. This is what I get for talking and driving in third person. When I usually am in, like, with you or something. But I will say, riding around on one of these at Road Atlanta, which just had a wheel and tire setup, was absurd. We hit, I think, like 145 on the back straight in that car. Oh gosh, yeah, that snap was absurd. Okay, yep, big crash. Yeah, I figured this thing was going to try to kill me at some point. It tried to kill me, it did. Man, if that were real life, that would have hurt. It was like 180 miles an hour going into that corner. Man, look at this Focus RS. Little snap there. Ooh, I was really scared it's going to overcook it again. Alright, last corner. The sunset kind of lighting here is really cool. Oh, nostalgia for Gran Turismo 3. And a win, a pretty dominant one at that. For my 900 horsepower C8 that just absolutely crushed a race it was not meant for. No clean race bonus. I kind of figured with how hard I put it in the wall there at the last lap. I want to see just the speed at which I overtake that Camaro is absurd.
If I remember correctly, GT2 Beige Edition added 120 more cars and will keep adding more in the future.
I may do a feature video on that. Maybe not a full Let's Play like I was doing for A-Spec. Like I said earlier, that game's taking a hiatus for me just because of whatever controversy has occurred within the Discord server and with the development staff and whatever happens. So I'm gonna distance myself from that one a little bit because it was a little much. I went to old school about that earlier. It'll be in the archive if I don't want to rehash that. I've already rehashed the future of the channel like 6 times. Corvette was pretty nasty though. That was pretty insane. But yeah. That was pretty fun though. Corvette kind of rips. I kind of, just for funsies, since my wife's having issues is getting one of the students home from this trip. I'm gonna find an F1 track. We're gonna take this car there and see what it does. Let's do Spa. I don't think I've been around Spa in this car yet. We'll just do a quick time trial, nothing crazy. I know. I've been around here in this car. I have not. I've done a video, or I've done laps with Cayman GT4s. So top 20 times. That Mark 7 GTI is at the bottom there. That might honestly be the replica of my car. So let's see what this thing can do. Last thing for the night for real this time. We're about to go cook dinner for my wife. So this transmission is F1 based. It's got the same gear ratios as the 8-speed F1 cars. The final drive I think is different. I think I did a custom final drive on this car. Because obviously it doesn't run at 12,000 RPM, it only rips to 8. Or 7,000 looks like. 7,500. I may build another one of these that's like a C8 GT3 car. Because this one's just insane. Like, this thing is so fast, so crazy, it can't even race it. And the WTC 800 races. I think it has over 800 performance points. Fighting a lot of snap in the rear in this thing, in corners, on throttle. I have to really watch my throttle input with this car. I should have let off. Holy cow. Oh, now I'm gone. Yep, GG's. Hey, saved it. So, that's that. That was fun, guys. That was a fun way to close the stream off. A little bit of chop from the C8. So, on that note, I'm going to wrap things up here for the night. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this first stream back.
Next stream.
It's been really fun, guys. I go to go cook my wife dinner for real this time. It was really fun, guys. Thank you guys so much. Hopefully more stuff coming soon. I'm going to hopefully do, you know, like I said, more chill streams with this, obviously. And then obviously some stuff for Gran Turismo 3. Thank you, or Gran Turismo 3 and 5. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys later. Have a good day.